watched her friend go through a dark time in her life, and all she can say is, Jesus, Jesus. I think it's something to be said that we need to talk about the friends who do not support you, who do not support your wins, who act some kind of way when things come into your life. It's not like her friend. I don't care who says what. Be aware of the people that you keep around you as friends, that sometimes your so-called friends are your biggest ops. And sometimes your friends will only be your friends as long as they are winning, as long as they are above you. And once things start to shift, or once things start to look good for you, at the end of the day, watch them change. So I do get how sometimes when you get to a certain position and place in life, you don't quite know who's there because they're true and who's there because they're fake and phony. Why? At which point you are only going to be happy that your friends get opportunities because of you, so you want to control the narrative. Hi everybody. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. I had to play around with my camera for a little bit before I could sit down and record this. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. Thank you for choosing me over and over again. I have a very exciting video that I want to film, that I feel like this piece, this clip, this content has been on my mind for, at the very least, the last 2 weeks. And I'm a little bit late with speaking about it, but I really think it is important. Friendships, as you know, is something that I talk about on my channel quite a lot. I've done videos about friendships. I have shot my videos with my friends, including my sister as well. She happens to be a good friend of mine, okay? I just spoke to her now. But I wanted to have this conversation with you guys, especially after I saw the clip of B Simone shooting her podcast, and she was talking to a friend of hers. And I was so shocked when I saw this. Again, welcome. This is a new video. This is I Have Thoughts. This is the Real Talk video. Thank you, as always, for being here. Thank you for choosing me over and over again. I am continuously humbled by your support of my channel. It hasn't been the easiest time with my channel, but I'm thankful for every one of you who are here, and every single time you choose to engage with the content and engage with me and support the channel. If you like the video, definitely like, subscribe to the channel, and also watch the ads. It really does go a long way to supporting my channel. Now, let's get into this video, okay? I've got a cup of tea here. There's going to be a bunch of clips that you're going to see from this video, from this podcast that I saw. And let me just set a little bit of a disclaimer here. I'm not really somebody who follows B Simone. Do I know who she is? Yes, I have seen her content up and about, and I've seen where she's appeared on television and all of that. And if you don't know her, she's kind of like a social media content creator, well-known public figure in the States. And she has been really surrounded with a lot of drama lately, because she recently shifted her content from, talking about men all the time, and this is the kind of man that she wants, and these are the kinds of things that she expects from relationships. I'll see if I can, in editing, put in a bunch of the clips from when she started.
You can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
so
like he can't clock in and clock out.
No. No.
Damn,
in terms of what kind of content she was creating. And she recently pivoted to be a religious Christian content creator.
Seeking your face, God. Show us the face of God tonight, Jesus. We're seeking your face, God. We're seeking a breakthrough, Jesus.
Where everything that she was mentioning in her content, her videos, all of that was more centrally focused on, God and Christianity, and, wanting to build and cultivate a relationship with God, which is something that I thought was amazing for her, you know. It is a conversation that is to be had when it comes to how certain female content creators, when things just don't turn out right, or when they have a big shift in their lives, they decide to shift into Christian content creation. But anyway, that's a story for another day. This one is purely about the clips that I saw from her podcast where she's talking to her friend. Her name is Shekinah or Shekinah. I'm not sure how you say the name. I didn't watch the whole entire podcast, and to be honest, with the points that I want to mention in this video, I didn't have to. I really think just those clips gave me the fundamental basis that I wanted to discuss when it comes to the kinds of friends we keep around us and to the kinds of people that we call friends, and how we just really have a sense of, you know, like, this is my friend and this is, I value her and this, when in actual fact, your friend might not like you. And in this case, B Simone does not like her friend. I don't care who says what. She really doesn't like her friend. And I think it's something to be said that we need to talk about the friends who do not support you, who do not support your wins, who act some kind of way when things come into your life, who do not support you when you're going through a really tough period and a tough time in your life. And Shekinah was saying so many things in these clips, and I was just like, all I was just seeing was B Simone going, Jesus.
Didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom. All this happened to me this past year.
Jesus. And Jesus. And I'm just like, Jesus? Jesus? Really?
And fun. Saz.
Really? And I was so convicted. Convicted? I'm sure you meant conflicted, but anyway, I'm going to walk you through all of this, and I want to also mention my pointers here because I want you to be aware of the people that you keep around you as friends. This is me, Katleho, the older sister, talking to you and saying, be aware of the people that you keep around you as friends, because sometimes people are saying things, whether indirectly or directly or under the carpet, that really give you a true lens into who they are and how they show up for your friendship. And I think it's really important to be aware of that sometimes your so-called friends are your biggest ops. Sometimes your so-called friends are your biggest fucking haters. Okay, they hate you. They do not like you, but they like to keep you around. And sometimes your friends will only be your friends as long as they are winning, as long as they are above you. And once things start to shift, or once things start to look good for you, at the end of the day, watch them change. And they don't like that. They want to be the one behind your success and your growth and all of this. And this is a conversation I was having with Mbali, my friend, my very good friend, the other day, that sometimes it's insane when you look at these friendships online on social media, and then these people break up as friends and all of that. And it almost always boils down to some kind of jealousy. Sometimes they don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you doing better than them. They don't want to see it. And B Simone was a classic. I don't care who says what, but she exhibits a lot of narcissistic traits for me that I was just like, wow, I can't even believe that Shekinah didn't even see this. And maybe, you know, when you're inside the ring, when you're inside the circle, it's very hard for you to see it. And because we were outside watching, it was just like, what? How are you okay, you know, with your friend acting that way and behaving that way towards you, and still wanting to continue to be their friend? Anyway, let's get into it, okay? Yeah. Let's get into this video because I found this quite disturbing, and we're going to run through this video piece by piece because I think it is so important for us to have this conversation. All right, we're going to start with the first clip right here. All right.
For family, for the wrong people. The money, I done gave people money. I done bought houses. I done paid for divorces.
Now think about how I feel as your friend.
And let me tell you, I'm gonna get there. And I've done all that. And then the right people come around that have the purest heart, that love you so much, and you're stifling and you're looking and you're paranoid and you're looking people up and down and it's anxiety. That's not coming from a healed place. It's coming from, like you said, bitterness. Yeah. Okay.
Let me stop and say this. With that part, I kind of get it. Sometimes when you are in a place where you're doing really well, I get what B Simone is saying there. When you're doing really well and things are looking up for you and all of that, and you start being surrounded by a bunch of people. People come into your life like, oh my God, you're doing so well. Oh my God, let's do lunch. Let's do brunch. You find yourself surrounded by a bunch of people that it becomes really hard to decipher who's there for genuine intent, who's there because they really want to be there and they want to be your friend and they want to be around you, and also who's there because they want to use you. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that she may have definitely found herself in a space where she wasn't quite sure. She was being pulled at all ends, right? Because, people are there acting as if they're great friends, acting as if they're good people to her, and you don't quite know who's there for good intent and who's there for bad intent, right? So I do get how sometimes when you get to a certain position and place in life, you don't quite know who's there because they're true and who's there because they're fake and phony and they want to use you and they want to get something out of you. That part of what she said, I absolutely did get. However, let's continue.
It's like a guard is up.
And sometimes from the public perception, it's like being a best friend with a celebrity. Everybody thinks that, because you're connected to this person, then your life is just as grand as theirs, or you got
it, or they helping you.
Baby, when I tell you, didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom, all this happened to me this past year.
Jesus.
And then it's like to not have resentment in my heart towards you because I saw you do this for other people. I saw you give a check to somebody to help them through whatever they went through. And it's like, God, like I love him. That's my soul. And I can't nobody didn't give me a handout, but guess what? That wasn't your responsibility.
I'm going to stop her right there. First and foremost, she's looking at her friend and she is saying, I saw you help other people. I was down and out. I was living with my parents. I was doing all of this. I couldn't make ends meet. There's some point where she talks about how she couldn't pay her car repayments and all of that. And she watched her friend, her best friend, right? One of her good friends go out of her way to help other people, to help pay for other people's bills and expenses, to help do this. This is shocking for me. I do not care who says what, okay? You need to understand something, all right? And I'm a big firm advocate and believer of this. If I am doing well in my life and I have extra money to spend or extra, just passive income where I can spend that money and all of this, best believe my immediate circle is not going to want for anything.
Yup.
And when I talk about my immediate circle, I'm talking about my family, my friends, the people that are close to me, my partner. My immediate circle will want for nothing. I cannot understand at all. I cannot understand at all how B Simone watched her friend go through a dark time in her life. And all she can say is, Jesus, Jesus. When you are out here spending money, helping other people who probably weren't as close to her as Shekinah was. I don't know what the status of their friendship is now. But how do you do that? For so many of us, we love to say that, you know what I'm saying? When I level up, my whole circle is leveling up. That's pretty much what it is. I say this to my friend all the time. I'm like, babe, when we get to our level, we are buying a house in Monaco. We are buying a yacht. We're living together. We're doing whatever, if we're not seeing people or married or whatever the case may be. But all I'm saying is that is kind of the standard representation that you expect or feel from somebody who is your friend, and at the same time you want to see them do good and be good. But when you're watching your best friend help out other people while you are struggling, that's insane to me. I cannot reconcile. And for me, that already shows me that there's a part of me that watched her say this, and I'm thinking, your friend doesn't like you.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
B Simone doesn't like you. Okay? If your friend cannot support you and they have the means to do so when you are going through a tough time, they don't like you. More than anything, we can even pull it even further to say, because of the mere fact that they don't like you, they're not helping you, but chances are they might be jealous of you. They might be happy at the fact that you are going through, because how do you watch your friends struggle and not help them, right? You might be happy knowing that your friend is struggling and you are doing better than them. Even though you're in a position to help them, you actively choose not to. That is insane. But it's this next part that actually made me think, Shekinah, come on, right? Not only have you just said this, but at this point, you're even gaslighting your damn self with this next response. Listen to this.
Season for my own thing. I had to get my car repossessed.
Jesus.
I had to go through the food stamps line. I had to be on Medicaid. Because I'm building my story too. But it's like, as a friend somebody who has it, it's hard to digest because everybody around you, nobody would they're probably shocked that I'm even saying this right now. All this year.
In less than 12 months.
What?
My whole thing is, she says, I had to go through that. That's fine. That's my story. I had to go through that. I genuinely feel she's gaslighting herself. She's just said something to B Simone to show her that you helped all these other people while I was struggling, to then come back and say that, but you know what? I had to be in that space. It's almost like sucking up to the fact that it's okay, friend. I understand that you didn't have to do that. And that is true. That's a conversation we can have. Your friend doesn't have to do anything for you. They don't. They really don't. They're not in a position where they have to do anything for you in terms of helping you out. They're not obliged to do that. That's fine. We can all accept that, right? They don't have to do it. However, if they are in a position where they can, you don't now come back and say, I saw you doing all these things for all these people. You didn't do it for me. But you know what? I had to go through that. Listen, you do have to walk down the journey of life in your path and all of that. I completely understand that. However, I think it is so disingenuous for her to then say that to B Simone when she knows that at the end of the day, who doesn't want help from their friend? You just told her that she didn't help you and she was helping other people, but who doesn't want help from their friend? Be honest with it. It's almost like she's sucking up to the fact that it's okay. Like, I get that you did that. I don't want to be in your wrong books. I don't want to say something out of pocket. So you know what? I'm just going to counter it by saying that, I had to go through it. Not when you're talking to your friend. When you're having that kind of conversation with your friend, you can actually say to your friend that I got mad. I was mad. I was actually so sad and hurt at the fact that I watched you help other people. I was not okay with that. And leave it at that. Without having to say that, but you know what? It's fine. I had to go through that. Because you're reneging on everything that you've just said. It's okay for you. You should find it okay for you to say whatever it is that you want to say, and you express yourself, even if it's at a dissatisfaction towards what your friend did or said. But you should be able to express yourself without coming back and saying, but it's okay. I get it. Maybe I was supposed to go through this. It's almost like you're sucking up to the fact that it's okay. You didn't have to help me anyway. It was my story. And nah, bro, get out of here. Like that clip for me was the one clip that showed me that, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, some people are really not your friends, and they are happy to see you struggle and all of that. And all they can come back and say is, Jesus. That's all they can say. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. So this next one we're going to talk about is, this one kind of killed me. This is where you have friends that don't want to see you win. And they get conflicted when you seem to be in a space where you are doing better than them. Or maybe sometimes you're not. You just have an opportunity where you can be okay, where you have money coming in, where things are starting to look up, and they don't like it. This is what Shekinah says.
recently I have this opportunity and I called you and I told you about it. And you were just like, okay. And you called me back.
I called her right back, y'all. I was so convicted. I was so convicted.
Let me stop her there. Immediately she interjects. B Simone interjects and says, I called her right back, y'all, because she could already see where this was going. Her friend is already starting. Recently, I had an opportunity and you were just very blasé, nonchalant about it. She didn't seem happy for her friend. How are you friends with someone who is not happy to see you win? They should be celebrating you more than you can celebrate yourself. They should be so excited for you that doors are opening up for you, that you're winning, that things are showing up. Eventually, now things are coming right. They should be so happy for you, right? Am I wrong? Right? They should be happy. But immediately, B Simone was just like, And then she comes back and she interjects because she can see where it's going to then say, I called her right back. As if that's going to make anything better. You hung up on her and then you were so convicted. You weren't convicted. The proper word for it is you were conflicted, right? She was conflicted at the fact that her friend was having an opportunity and she wasn't entirely happy about it. Let's hear what she says.
You were like, I didn't like how I felt when you told me that. And I was like, what do you mean? You were like, I don't know what it is. I'm talking this out in real time. But whatever it is, I don't like what I felt. And I said, did you feel jealous? And you were like, I don't think I feel jealous.
Because we went through all the emotions. She's like, are you angry? Are you sad? Are you jealous? I was like, I'm not jealous because I don't want what you have. I'm sad and I'm angry and I'm upset that I'm not doing it with me.
Yeah.
Like we're not working.
Bing, bing. Do you understand what she is saying? I'm not jealous. She is. She is. I don't care who says what with regards to this. She is absolutely freaking jealous. Okay. She is not happy that her friend has an opportunity and a moment here to make some money and to make a win, right? She's not happy. That's why she hung up. But now she's saying that I'm not jealous because I don't want what you have. That's fine. You and your friend don't need to want the same things. But she's jealous. No, she's conflicted at the fact that Shekinah didn't get this opportunity through her. She wanted things to be done or Shekinah to get these opportunities because of her. Are you out of your mind?
Right?
Why? At which point you are only going to be happy that your friends get opportunities because of you, so you want to control the narrative. It's not about, I wanted us to do this together. No, why? Why? What about all the other opportunities that B Simone got for herself without Shekinah, that didn't include Shekinah, that she went ahead and did for herself? Why, when your friend has this opportunity to be able to do something for herself that she got on her own accord, do you seem to have a problem with that? That is insane to me. If you have a friend that is not happy that you are winning or you are getting opportunities, you should be absolutely worried. You should be absolutely worried. That person doesn't want the best for you. They don't want the best for you. And in actual fact, more than anything, they want to be the one in control of the narrative of what opportunities come your way. Must be out your mind. Must be out your mind. Let's listen.
Together.
Yeah.
Like I don't have that. Y'all, let me tell you something. Anybody that's in my circle, I want to work with you. I want to put you on. I'm putting you in position. I like doing it together.
You do.
How can we do this together? How can we make money together? How can we build together? How can we grow together? How can we all pitch in together? How can we be millionaires I want to do it together.
Yeah.
And there was a point in my life where I had that and it was crumbled. So I feel like
Here's my issue. I don't have a problem with you wanting to do things together and achieve things together with your friend. Okay? I don't have an issue with that. I take issue with the fact that why should it always have to be like that? And because that's what you wanted, you felt convicted, Jesus. You felt conflicted because that's what you wanted, so you couldn't be happy for her. So she achieved or she got something on her own accord and you couldn't be happy for her because you wanted to do it together. Of course I want to be millionaires with my friend. I also want us to be millionaires. But my friend is a seasoned UX UI designer. I don't do that kind of stuff. So if she wins in her job and she gets an amazing job and she gets an amazing this and she gets an amazing this, speaking of my friend, she just WhatsApped me. I think she can, it's telepathic. It's telepathic, okay? Let me actually send her this. Let me send her this. This is so funny because I am recording a video and I'm talking about that B Simone thing. If you want to send a voice note and then I can play it on the channel and that'll be nice in the video. Listen to it, okay? Just, well, if you want. If you don't, it's fine. Bye, love ya. So that's my whole thing, right? That's my chat. She just WhatsApped. It's so weird. So maybe if she wants to throw in her little 2 cents with a voice note, then I might add it at the end of the video or I might add it in here.
Yeah, man, with this whole B Simone thing, it's a bit weird. Like, I get that people have different types of friendships, but it's just strange, man. Like, it rubbed me up the wrong way where she sort of felt like she had to center herself in her friend's successes or failures, losses, whatever. Because, like, why would you only want your friend to succeed because it's through you? Ah, man, that's mad weird. Like, it's giving, yeah. I don't want to throw around terms. We don't do that, but low-key we do. Um, but yeah, I don't understand why she would like to center herself in that. Because I mean, you and I have had this conversation so many times before where we're like, as soon as I make it, I mean, we're all making it, or we can make it together, but it's like not mandatory for us to make it together. One can make it and pull the other, and yeah, that's just how it goes. I feel part of me sort of feels like she wants something to sort of like lord over her friends, which I mean, this is just me sort of like guessing based on the observation or the conversation, which is strange because then again, when her friend was telling her about how she was struggling and she saw B Simone help somebody else, she completely dismissed that friend's experience and she was just yelling Jesus, which, yeah, strange. I mean, you're out here saying, Guti, you're always wanting your friends to succeed through you and you always want to help your friends, but then when your friend goes through something, yeah, no, it's weird, man. Like, her friends are not her minions. Like, I thought, in a friendship, it's like equal footing, even though we don't give 100% all the time, but the friend is up this time, the other friend is up this time, down, whatever. I mean, it's an ebb and flow type of thing because that's just life in general. But yeah, I find it mad weird that she was like, oh no, I wanted my friends to succeed through me, but then also not help a friend when a friend is going through something. Her supposed best friend when they're going through something. Like, it's giving hypocrite, it's giving confused, it's giving clout chaser. Chaser. Yeah, I don't know, bruh. It's very strange. I don't understand. Maybe it was just a reason for her to trend. Maybe it was her rage baiting because the combos they're not communicating Kesana. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't.
Now, with that being said, I think I need to mention this part, okay? This was really a big, big moment for me because B Simone asked her friend, do you think I'm a good friend? And this is what happened.
Do you think I'm a good friend?
I think you're an amazing friend. I think you I think you I think that it's the best way I can describe. Okay, this happened.
Insane. That's all I needed to see. For me, that's all I needed to see. I will never hesitate when my friend asks me, do you think I'm a good friend? I have all of her characteristics, all of the things that make her a great friend to me right here. It's sitting here. It's at the tip of my tongue. If she asks me a question like that, yes, you're an absolutely great friend. You're understanding. You're emotionally available. You're a great mother. You are kind. As much as you're firm, you're kind. They're here. They're here. You're supportive. For the mere fact that Shekinah struggled to answer that, it shows me a lot about how she was hurt and how B Simone has been towards their friendship, towards them together as friends. And that stood out for her. And for me, that is something that showed me that she is not happy. Again, she's not happy with B Simone, but also at the same time, she lacks a huge amount of discernment when it comes to this kind of friendship. Okay, she lacks a huge amount of discernment. She cannot tell when her friend is really being a shitty friend. I mean, you don't need to tell any of us that are watching this right now that B Simone is a shitty friend. If you take B Simone's side or understand the perspective and the point of view of B Simone, please tell us in the comments below. Maybe I'm willing to hear out the other side. But as somebody who values my friendships very deeply, I cannot be on board with this kind of friend. And I feel like Shekinah lacks a lot of discernment when it comes to B Simone being her friend. And I've got a couple of people who had a few things to say on TikTok that I agreed with, and I think we need to watch that and see what they say.
The reason why B Simone's friend said she had to go through homelessness, she had to go through having her car repossessed, she had to go through those financial setbacks and financial hardships. It wasn't just because God was trying to work through her. It was also because God was trying to show her, B Simone ain't never been your friend. Who said that?
I love that trend. Who said that? She's absolutely right. B Simone was never your friend. Get the fact that sometimes you need to go through your own life journey. You absolutely need to. You need to experience certain things that, you need to go through them yourself. However, if you have a friend who's in a position where they can help you and they just choose not to. Sorry, I was just checking if my mic is. But if they choose not to, that's not your friend. That really isn't your friend. You guys need to be careful, and you need to use a lot of discernment when it comes to picking the kinds of friends that you have or that you want in your life. All right? Let's listen to another one.
I pray that a friendship like B Simone and her best friend never finds me, because in the same breath as your best friend telling you how she was down at her lowest, she was struggling, her car got repossessed, she had to get on food stamps, Medicaid, and all you could say was Jesus. But then turned around and said how you were upset and angry that your best friend was offered a great opportunity that you could not take the credit for. Then proceeds to say that you like to do stuff together. If you're doing something, you want to do it with your friends. You want to be the one to do it together. So where was the let's do this together when your best friend's car was getting repossessed? Where was the together when your best friend needed someone, but she never asked you? And for her to be on like this Christian journey and this spiritual journey, what happened to help thy neighbor? Your best friend watched you help other people when she was down and at her lowest the most. And as a best friend, if this is your best friend, it should have been signs that you could have saw. Not saying that she's obligated to her to give her money, but if you're helping other people and you just giving out checks, what was the problem with helping your best friend? I'm starting to feel like B Simone wanted to see her friend at her lowest, because how can you help other people but you watch the closest person to you struggle?
Period. She said it perfectly. Where was helping? Where was let's do things together? Let's do things together when your friend was going through a tough time? Where was let's do things together? Let's do things together when your friend was struggling to make ends meet? But you want to do things together when it comes to winning? Come on. Love thy neighbor? Come on. You have to be like, oh man. This one really had me in my feels, and I wanted to be able to share this with you guys, because I feel like it really is important to be able to exercise discernment when it comes to choosing friends and to choosing people that you want to be in your little circle and your private circle and your innermost circle, right? There are people who are going to be acquaintances, but the people who are going to be your friend, I think you actively have to do the work to actually watch what they say and watch what they don't say and watch what they do and watch what they don't do. If your friend cannot support you, if your friend cannot be in spaces where they choose to support you and see the light in you and celebrate that, that's not a good friend. It really isn't a good friend. And I think sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves and actually say, is this friendship really serving me, or is it stressing me out? Am I unhappy most of the time within this friendship, or am I happy? I think it's so important. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, it's always love until you level up, right? Right? That's when you know that you don't have a good friend. If your friend seems to find a problem with the fact that you are doing well and they're not, that's a problem. That's a very, very big issue. But I'd love to hear your opinions on this one. This was a really important one for me, and I felt like it's so important for us to have this conversation. I'd love to know what you think. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, do the absolute most, and I will talk to you in the next video. Also share it with your friends. I would love to hear what you think. The discourse below in the comment section. Let's talk about it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for choosing me over and over again. Let me know. I had my thoughts. This was my real talk. I would love to know what you think about what we just discussed. Until the next video, I will see you very, very soon. Until then, sayonara.